dun, 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 dun. Bum, bum, bum. That keeps showing up.
Really? All right. Hello.
Welcome to
This is the Cowboys and Unicorns podcast.
Cowboys and Unicorns.
I'm David.
I'm Dan.
Dan's a little weird today.
Just a little bit.
And
With us today we have
Victoria Tiernan.
another Tiernan sibling.
little sister number 2. What's up, Vic?
Not much. Just living life.
Nice.
That's exciting.
Yeah.
What did you think when I first asked you to come on the show? Because your text seemed like you were pretty excited.
I said, sure. Exclamation mark.
Right.
Well, the exclamation mark would...
Yeah, just one though. So, I'm just kidding. I was excited. I had just woken up and that was the first thing I saw. So I was like, sure, I guess so. I was also a little nervous because I don't know what we're going to talk about.
Yeah. Well, give us the 30 seconds about who Victoria Tiernan is.
Oh, dear. Okay. Follow my Instagram at Vicky383. You'll find out there. Just kidding. Well, I'm...
Throw in the right hooks right away.
Right.
Call to action, follow me at...
Follow me. We need to learn from her.
Right. Use my code Vicky383 when you get to checkout for 10% off.
I wish. Sponsor me, somebody. Just kidding. But I'm a senior in high school. I'm going to graduate from Alexandria Technical and Community College this spring. I PSEO'd there the last 2 years, so that's been a really big part of my life. I'm graduating from the office management program. I'm a fun-loving person.
Vic, do you drink coffee?
Oh, my gosh, yes.
So
2 pots a day.
Okay, so we got a number. So
16 cups?
Or
how big are the pots?
we were hanging out with John Franey earlier today, and he was wondering, like, how much coffee does Vic actually drink?
How much do I drink?
Like, how many ounces? How many cups?
Well, it really depends day to day. At home, I'd say, like, consistently at least a pot. And I mean, how many? I can't even think.
How many ounces are in a
are
pot?
in the pot at our house, Dan? Tiernan house.
Yeah, I don't really know. It's over 32. I mean, what? Probably more than that.
That's
Probably
a
like
lot.
40 ounces.
The
How
one
many
at our
ounces are in a
house.
cup?
Well,
I
it
don't
depends
know
how big
that.
the cup
I'm not
is.
smart.
Okay,
There's 16
No,
ounces.
like a true cup.
8 ounces?
Yeah.
Okay, I
Okay.
probably drink from like 8 or 12 ounce cups at home, and I have probably about 4 of those.
Okay.
So that's 1 pot, so that's over 30 some ounces, right?
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
that makes sense because we have a little bit smaller pot.
Yeah.
So that's probably about 4. But they're probably like 12 ounces though. So probably like that coffee pot probably makes 4 times 12, 48.
8 cups.
48 ounces.
48 ounces.
Yeah,
And I
ounces.
sometimes drink 2
Yeah.
pots.
Okay.
That's a lot.
So that's
I told John, I said, I bet like 100. So that's close.
A day, yeah. Some days are better than others.
Better
Is that-
meaning more or meaning
better
less?
meaning more, that I have a really good,
Yes.
a really good solid coffee day where I'm very giddy, and those are good days to be around me.
Do you have other forms of caffeine? Like energy
Rarely,
drinks or
rarely.
pop?
If I work the night shift at my CNA job, then I'll like hit myself up with an energy drink on top of that.
Okay.
Also some coffee, but yeah. I also, like, since I drive to Alexandria every day, I usually stop at Dunn Brothers at least once a day, and sometimes Starbucks too. So that added on top of that
That's
can
a
be
lot
a
of
lot.
caffeine.
And
But
I
if-
usually get larges.
If you if you stopped at Dunn Brothers and Starbucks though, you probably went also, and you're in Alec for most of the day. You're probably not also drinking 2 pots of coffee at home, are you?
At least a pot, because
Right.
my routine is I wake up, I have a cup at home. I also bring a tumbler with me to school. And then I usually get like a 16 ounce on my lunch break from Dunn Brothers or Starbucks. And then sometimes I get some before I go home. I also drink coffee when I'm working at the car dealership I work at. And then sometimes when I go home at night to do more homework. So, I mean, it's kind of excessive, but I drink coffee more than I drink water.
You
Yeah.
make coffee with water, though, so
It's hot bean water.
yeah.
So Vic, you work at a car dealership, you work at a nursing home, a group home, and you go to school all while being a senior in high school.
Yeah.
Like I've known as your brother, I've known that you work a lot in the past, year or two, right? Couple years.
Yeah.
But when did the switch happen? Or like as soon as you
fun to work or what?
No, I'm just saying, like, did you, like, were you 15? Were you 14? Were you 17? Like, when did you start going hard on? You put in a lot of hours.
Oh yeah.
And why do you think you did that?
Because so I started working at McDonald's when I was 14, and I worked there for 3 years. And I would say I worked pretty normal work weeks from when I was 14 and 15. But I would say when I was 16, I started valuing work more and taking advantage of it.
Because they give you money.
Right. And I really like money. I see a lot of power behind money, which I like that. I like power, let's just say that, over my own life.
At least
I like
she's honest.
Yeah.
Just some good honesty. No.
I like to make
No
my
judgment,
own
keep going.
decisions, and what I've always seen is that, like, through work comes great success and independence, and I'm a very independent person, so I like working because I think that money gives me independence because I can make my own decisions that way. So actually last year, after I finished my first year of college, is when I would say I was going really hard on working. I would work 90-hour weeks between my nursing home job and my group home job, and lots of night shifts. Almost every night I'd work a night shift and day shifts, and I saved a lot of money, though, in hopes of moving to California. But now I decided not to do that, so I just got a bunch of money saved, I guess.
Hey, it's not a bad thing.
No, it still works.
So does the coffee consumption, did that correlate with the working more hours?
Yeah, definitely. Working that much, you definitely need something to keep you going, and I'd say I'm definitely extremely addicted. I noticed that 2 hours into my day without coffee, I get a very, very bad headache, and I'm just not, like, I don't feel very good, which isn't good. But
have you ever thought about like going back a little bit where, like, you could still drink a lot of coffee if you cut your coffee consumption like by a third or a half?
Yep. So it would still be drinking a lot of coffee. It
Yeah.
would just be less.
Yeah.
Yeah. I also just I like the argument of, I think it tastes really good. I really like
Yeah,
the
I
taste
do
of
too.
it. It's not
Right.
just the caffeine fact. So I'm kind of addicted to the
Yeah.
taste too, I guess.
One thing I had to do, so when I got a desk job, I was drinking probably 2 pots of coffee
Yeah.
a day, because I had just a ceramic mug, and so it would cool down to the perfect drinking temperature, and then you just chug it and go get more coffee. So I had to get a Yeti, so it's always freaking hot.
Oh, okay.
And so then it takes me
Yeah.
an hour and a half to drink 1 cup of coffee. And so then you only drink 3 10-ounce cups of coffee in a day because it takes so long to drink it. But today, I had 3 energy drinks and 4 cups of coffee.
Whoa.
Dang. feeling
I
good,
don't know
Dave?
why. Well, it was way too much. My heart was
Do you ever get just really shaky?
today
Where it's
I did.
super noticeable? I have been to the point where I'm laying on the ground, relaxed, not actually relaxing, watching a movie, and my literal whole body is shaking, and it's just because of the caffeine and not as much food. And people have been like, "Why are you shaking?" And I'm like, "It's just the caffeine."
Oh, dang. Vic.
Yeah, it's not good.
So this is an
Hardcore.
intervention. No, just kidding.
If you would like
Coming
to
at you
donate to
live.
the GoFundMe,
For Vic's intervention.
Vic's
I
coffee
don't-
treatment.
I could never drink 4 energy drinks though, because I feel like I wouldn't feel as good because of the sugar consumption
Yeah.
behind that.
There is
Yeah,
something.
I don't know. I was bored. Not bored,
You're
but I
"This
was
tastes good."
focused today. And so then I was just mindlessly drinking.
Yeah.
And I bought all these expired energy drinks for Meadowland Market for 99 cents.
Perfect.
So
Nice.
then you just drink them. I don't know.
I never buy those risky energy drinks like the off-brand ones because they scare me. I always get like Rockstar and Full Throttle and NOS.
Yeah, energy drinks are definitely something where if you buy the name brands, they're going to taste better.
Yeah.
And I've tried a lot. There was a period, I think, of a couple years where I would try to drink all the off-brand ones and see if there was one that was as good.
Yeah,
and
no, there's not.
I probably
No.
tried 20, 25 different kinds, and it was just like, well, I'll just stick with the ones I like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I saw that they came out with a mango-flavored NOS.
It's actually really
But
good.
okay.
I haven't tried that.
I haven't tried it either.
It's at Meadowland. Gabe bought me one
Yeah.
today.
Okay,
I think
guys.
So I drank a NOS, a Monster, and a Rockstar today.
Whoa.
It's legit.
Like
So I
the
was like
big
the
ones
full
too, or
spectrum.
the skinny ones?
Well, I had the nitrous Monster, so they're like skinny, but they're
Oh.
more
12 ounces.
caffeine. And then the standards, 16 ounce
Sure, the 16, yeah.
on the other two.
What are your guys' all-time favorite? Which brand or which one from which brand?
I think just straight up Red Bull is probably my favorite.
Oh gosh, this is so hard.
I know.
So I can tell you like what I've been the last year, or 6 months to a year. I've just been doing the Blue Monster low carb. I really like
the
that
white Monster low
Yeah,
carb.
and actually
or the white one is really good.
one.
The sugar free?
The sugar-free white Rockstar.
No, white Monster.
That one's actually surprisingly good. That's the only sugar-free one I like is the
The
white
Rockstar?
Rockstar. The NOS one is gross. That's
Yeah.
sugar-free. I don't like that one.
NOS will always have a special place in my heart
Yeah.
because of how much I drank it in college.
Yeah.
Like
And
two
You
a
got
day.
you got like everyone in Morris hooked on NOS.
I did, yeah. I was sort of a NOS evangelist in college.
Didn't you do a whole presentation on it too one time?
Yeah, so there was a few things. I did one speech about my persuasive speech in Intro to Public Speaking was why energy drinks are good for you.
Yes.
And
Oh.
as my attention-getting device, I chugged a 12-ounce can of NOS. Then later on that semester, we were supposed to have a project where we changed campus policy or attempted to, and they had taken NOS out of the cafe, attempt by the Healthy Eating Club to make the cafe healthier, which I thought was baloney. And so I handed out free shots of NOS at the student center and got people to sign my petition. And then I went and talked to the head of the Sodexo, the food service there.
Wow.
And he told me I could have just asked him. I didn't need the signatures. But I got NOS back in for half a semester.
That's awesome.
Only half a semester?
Yeah.
Did it just not sell?
The next fall, senior year, they didn't put it in there, and I was tired of fighting for it. So,
Gave up.
and then I gave NOS to everyone when I presented on that project.
Really?
Yeah,
Like a
in the
can
class.
of NOS to everyone?
Yeah, I spent a lot of money on that
That's
project.
Yeah.
On the public speaking one? Or
I don't. One of those I gave
persuasive?
everybody a NOS. So,
I'm actually in public speaking right now.
what's
I
your
gave-
persuasive speech going to be?
Well, I just gave my self-introductory one on Monday. So yesterday I did. I don't know what I'm going to do my persuasive one on yet.
Do you have like an informational one?
Yeah, we have an informative, a persuasive, and then our first one was our self-introductory.
Okay.
So does public speaking give you anxiety?
Not really.
Okay.
I mean, I got a little nervous, but I've public spoke before multiple times, so pretty used to it.
Yeah. I took a public speaking class in college, my one semester of college,
Mm-hmm.
and I rocked it, but I never prepared. Like, I'm just really good at BSing. And so I would just show up, and it's like, yeah, I didn't prepare. Or like
Did
the
you have?
one.
So you didn't have a PowerPoint or anything?
An outline?
So you
have
had
to
to have
hand
an
it-
outline on a couple
Yeah.
of them, never PowerPoints.
You just grabbed a napkin.
And so then, yeah, I would just like an hour before be like, what am I going to like, just pick something random, show up,
That's crazy.
do fine, like do so well that even though my outline wasn't good, he was like, I mean, you
Just
obviously
understand.
understand public
Yeah.
speaking. So I
That's
can't
fair.
give you that bad of a grade. I'm going to give you like a B+,
Nice.
but your outline sucked.
There you go. I'm not that kind of student. I'm very prepared.
I like to be prepared.
Me
So
too.
how does working like excessive hours go along with being a good prepared student?
It's hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
It's very overwhelming and stressful. And it's probably not good because of it, I've kind of noticed that, like, I don't have as much fun in my life because of it, and that makes me sad. And so it's been hard lately for me.
So this summer, Vic, when you were just working and putting in crazy hours, you seemed like you were still having a lot of fun.
Oh, yeah. There's a balance. I've been told that I'm a very hardworking person, but I also, actually, by my other older brother, Christopher, told me this. He was like, you're really hardworking, but you know how to structure your fun in. He's like, you don't miss out on everything. So, the thing is, I'd rather do one over the other. I don't want to do both at the same time. So I don't like working and going to school. I'd rather just be working and having fun. So I think
Yeah,
I don't know.
that makes sense.
What was it? So in college, they say you have the 3 things, and you can only pick 2, right? So it's like
Social
sleep,
life.
social
right.
life, and grades. Is that
Yeah, something like that.
or like good grades? You can
The
only pick
priorities.
2 of them.
That's not true.
Yeah, but
I
so
think
would
I
you
have-
say that you don't have to sacrifice one of those things during school?
No, I probably have to sacrifice my social life.
Right.
I'd say that
And your
I-
sleep.
somewhat, yeah. I try to make that more of a priority, though.
And that's not even factoring in working. I mean,
Right.
that's just saying
True.
straight up college.
Yeah. I only worked like 10 to 15 hours a week in college, so
See, the semester I did, I worked like 60 hours because I was paying for it all.
you
Right.
guys are
And-
both so much harder working than I am.
I work at least.
And it was terrible because everyone's hanging out, and it's
Yeah.
like 11 o'clock. And you're like, I got to work at 5. I can't just stay up, so
No
everyone's
kidding.
actually doing stuff. And 11 o'clock is when people are getting done doing homework, and they're ready to hang out. And you're like,
Right.
I got to sleep because I got to be up at 5. That was miserable.
Right. I
And
feel.
you went to a really expensive school.
Yeah, that was the problem.
Which school
Yeah.
did you go to?
North Central University.
Oh yeah, on the cities.
So it was like 16,000 for each semester,
Oh my gosh.
and I paid, I think it was 6,000 out of pocket from working for the summer, and then I had to work, like I had a payment plan, so I had to pay something like $700 a month or something like
Yeah.
that for the semester that I was there. And
So
so I
that
was just
include room
working-
and board?
Yeah.
Okay. I'm trying to think what UMM.
And I worked in
You-
the cafeteria, so I got free meals when I worked. So it was like all that stuff kind of
yeah.
equaled out. But
I think UMM when I went was, I mean, if you just room and board everything, like, I think it was close to like 20 or 21 a year.
right. So this was 16
Yeah,
a
so you're
semester.
probably an extra 15.
Right.
year.
And then the other problem, I don't know if they had the same thing for you, but was that a freshman had to live on campus in the dorms and have a meal plan and all that stuff.
Yeah.
So
See, I didn't do that. I didn't have to have that at
right.
UMM.
So just that piece alone adds like $3,000 to your
So it'd be like
semester
19.
cost? No, so like
Oh, yeah.
16 altogether.
Yep.
So I think they said it was like truly 25,000 for a year. But
Okay.
then when you add room and board and all that,
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
you add
More like-
6,000 for the whole
Right.
year,
You're
so
like
then
up to 32.
31,
Yeah,
32.
31.
So
Sorry, Vic, I cut you off like a long time ago.
That's okay. I'd say that, like, for me, I feel like even though I've been going to college for 2 years, I don't feel like I've gotten the college experience at all, other than how hard the classes can be. I'm not saying like at a tech school classes are hard. Some are more challenging than others, and I understand 4-year classes are probably harder than tech school classes, just depending on what you're going for. But
You're also in high school.
right. So, yeah. I want to go on for more college because I don't want to miss out on the fun college experience.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what Dave thinks, but I had a ton of fun in college.
see,
There's
I
so
don't
much-
regret it because the fact that like I never had to waste time worrying about like true education and how I was going to pay for it.
Yeah.
I just went into working and I got a job where you don't have to work Saturday, Sunday, so you always have free weekends.
That's
Yeah.
really
And
nice.
So in that sense, it's kind of it's like, yes, you're going to jump right into the workforce and you don't get that whole like summers off experience, which sometimes I do wish like it would be really nice to have a summer off. I haven't had a summer off like since high school. So in that way it would be nice.
Yeah.
But in general, it's like I don't have to worry about student loans. I don't have to worry about like any of that.
Nice. Yeah.
And then I have my weekends. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
I had like a super good situation because I got like financial aid, a like half tuition scholarship, and then I just lived at home for college.
Right.
So I sort of,
Yeah.
I mean, depending on how much you like your parents, you could say like that was a sacrifice to like live at home, or like was really a blessing. But it, like my situation ended up in like this financially stress-free,
Right.
like 4 years where I got to like study interesting things and like hang out with a bunch of people and like pursue like sports.
Yeah.
That's really nice.
So part of it was like I did really well in that environment and really, really enjoyed it. But it's not quite the real world. But then again, there's plenty of the real world to have.
Right.
No kidding.
So Vic, do you feel like you've missed out on like the high school experience by doing post-secondary, or are you kind of happy that you got to miss out on that?
Honestly, I'm really happy that I did PSEO. I don't feel like either way, if I had just continued doing high school, that I would still have been missing out on the high school experience because I was homeschooled. So I didn't go to the public school anyways in the first place. And I mean, I took some classes there, but I didn't really like it. I liked being homeschooled a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is there anything weird about the tech that we should know about?
Oh dear.
Are there
That's a
any
great
like
question.
are there any like secret rooms or like lunch
There's
lady
a prayer room.
or like lunch?
Sometimes I go take naps in there.
Where's the prayer room?
It's upstairs in the 700 building, the law enforcement building. Sometimes it's locked, though, so I don't think it's always an option to go pray.
That's sad.
Sometimes you have
Yeah.
to do internal prayers.
Yeah, I guess so.
Pray in public.
What's the craziest? Well, I'm trying to think. Like, do you have any crazy professor stories, or maybe it's not safe to share those publicly?
Oh,
Just
I don't
do
know.
it.
Some professors are weirder than other ones.
Yep.
I mean, I've never really had any trouble with any of the professors, other than I will sometimes get yelled at in class because I talk too much, or I'm like laughing or not paying attention.
Classic PSEO kid won't shut up and pay attention to the lecture. Who let these high schoolers in here?
I'm a really good student. I was on the dean's list every semester so far, and
Dang it, they're smart too.
Yeah, they don't even need to pay attention in class because it's just
Maybe it
it's
just
BS.
goes to show how easy a tech school is.
It can be easy, yeah. I mean, not everybody excels. Some kids do struggle. So, I mean, maybe I could challenge myself and go to a 4-year.
No. Don't waste your time.
Yeah.
Get a good job. Don't worry about student loans. Go on, Dan. You have to counter this so that we can get in a good argument.
Oh, right. I was
Oh,
going
right.
to say, I went to Alc Tech for a semester in high school, and
Oh, yeah.
those are the hardest classes I took because I took, like, drafting classes.
Oh, interesting.
I took, like, mechanical engineering and design classes.
Yeah.
And so, like, going to, like, a liberal arts school was way easier for me because, like, I don't know, I'm, like, good at reading and writing.
Yeah.
And so, like, working with AutoCAD and like
Yeah.
machine parts I'd never done was the most like difficult, stressful college I've ever had was in a tech school.
Interesting.
But the gen ed, like I took technical writing and it was a piece of cake. Like that was like a general class. So
Right.
it just probably depends on your bent and
Right.
and what you're good at, and I'm sure the general classes at 4-year schools are probably harder than at the tech school. But
Yeah.
There's definitely something to, if you're passionate about something, it's not. You know, it's like to say if you love your job, it's not like you're going to work every day. You know,
Right.
when I did college, I was doing audio engineering, and I just loved it. I mean, I had the best grades I've ever had, straight A's, and like never felt like it was like, oh crap, I have to go learn something. I was excited for it.
That's good.
for sure.
So there's definitely something to that. I mean, if you're actually going to school or doing something that you enjoy and you're passionate about, it's not. I don't feel like it's really hard work.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, my grad school was completely like that. Like, it was all interesting. It was interpersonal communication. It was like crisis communication management. It was like all sorts of things, like public relations writing, public relations planning.
Yeah.
So it was just, it fit.
That's
It wasn't hard. I just had to do the work.
Yeah. So you guys both worked at McDonald's for many years.
Boo.
How was
Yeah.
that?
A lot of it sucked.
Don't you ever miss it? Sometimes I just want to go slap a burger together.
Weirdly, sometimes I do miss it a little bit.
Yeah.
Sometimes
Drop some fries.
Sometimes I see him behind the counter, and I think there's elements to, once you learn how it works at McDonald's, it's really like being on a factory line, and
Sure.
you can get really good at it where it becomes easy.
Yeah.
It becomes so easy, sometimes too boring.
So sometimes I kind of miss that, just like rocking it, like dropping all the food, making it,
Right.
talking
You're
to
doing
customers,
awesome at what you do.
going back and forth, and it's a little active. Like, it's very
You move around a
it's
lot.
very hands-on, but then you've also got the communication element,
Yeah.
and then you've also got the element of like working with dumb customers and dumb coworkers, and that like
Yeah. People suck.
Oh, I came home every day with funny stories.
no like working at Superior this last year and a half, like nothing like there's no funny funny stories equals 0 compared to funny stories working at McDonald's.
Right.
You've got people that showed up from out of state 3 weeks ago. You have no idea why they're in rural Minnesota. You've got people from gangs. You've got ex-druggies. You've got druggies. You've got murderers. You've got current drug dealers. And you're all like, and then you've got like us homeschool kids, and you've got
innocent.
yeah, and then you've got
They
like
taught me everything I needed to know.
single moms, people. I mean, just like so much all thrown together.
You hear everybody's life story, and it's kind of fun that way. I feel
Yeah.
like I did, at least.
I actually think I learned the difference between professional and private at McDonald's, because other people shared a bunch of their life story, and I kept McDonald's. I was like, I don't want to be
That person.
I don't want to be that, and that was like, you guys live together and you work together at McDonald's, and you all
that
know
was
each other's.
Do you think
faults
the
and-
difference, though, is that, like, those people, McDonald's was their career. Like, it was their life. It was how
It
they
wasn't
were.
their career.
But, like,
People.
It was
just
their- yeah.
depended
but
on.
it's how they were making life happen, right?
It was, you could tell it was their social interaction and their job,
Right.
and I was like, I
That's
don't
kinda
want that to
sad.
be the case.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, they're bringing their life there because they're like,
Right.
this is my life.
Which is
This
maybe elitist of me. Like, I don't know, maybe I should have been better friends with them. But I was also like 15, and they're like 20. I mean, you're at like different levels of,
Yeah.
Right.
of
Oh,
life.
yeah.
I'm kidding.
So what's the best McDonald's story, Vic?
Oh, we can think of some good
my
ones.
Gosh.
So this is not good, but we worked with 4 people. Maybe Vic didn't. There was a mom and 3 sons.
Okay.
This is actually kind of sad. Maybe I should have started with this.
That wasn't even a funny story.
Sorry. Why did I think of...
can think of some. McDonald's.
They
made-
killed her.
What?
2 years later. I trained these people and I worked with them. They killed their mom.
What?
Yeah. She was
Okay.
a really nice lady.
We were saying funny stories.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I could say some.
I'm
funny
depressed.
stories.
That's the craziest. No,
Holy crap, dude.
Yeah. It was front page news in Morris paper, but when it came out, they didn't work there anymore.
Yeah.
But like this lady went to our church a couple times.
How long ago was that?
6 or 7 years
Yeah, I was
ago.
gonna say
Okay.
7
So
years.
It was
before
way
you
before my
you
time.
got to town,
Oh my gosh.
in like Chicago or Alberta, they hit her body, and people didn't know
Jeez.
where it was, and yeah,
This is so sad.
we saw one of the kids in Willie's, and my dad asked him if he knew where his mom was.
Oh no.
No. Like before it was public
Before we
news?
before it was news.
Oh.
Oh my
The
gosh.
kid had
that's
killed her.
awful.
How old were
And
they?
hit her.
Oh, it was like 16, 19, and like 22 or something like that, right?
No, the other guy was maybe like 26
There was like
or
a
something.
minor, though, involved.
Yeah.
Holy cow.
And the minor got in more trouble than like the 19-year-old because they told him to take more of the blame because they thought he'd only get juvie, and he actually got time in prison.
Yeah.
And then the 19-year-old got off with like a fine and nothing in prison. And then I think the oldest got in a lot of trouble.
I used to like play basketball with these kids in the park and like go sledding and like see them around town and
My gosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
I think they were like, I mean, they like dealt drugs and stuff too. I was surprised the one kid, like, he always showed up to work on Saturday mornings. I was like, dude, it's like, you sell drugs. You look like you've been taking them all night. Like, why show up here and make $7 an hour? I don't know.
You make more than that now.
I know. I was just like,
Yeah,
what
like
are you doing? Like,
$12
it's the weekend. You look rough,
At least
and
11.
you're
I
making
think-
more money on the street. Why are you here for the next 8 hours?
Yikes.
Because
Okay,
he
funny
probably
stories.
needed some purpose in life more than just selling drugs. I think that's really important.
So is the
Yeah.
moral of the story, don't make your kids work at McDonald's because it won't just give them good things. It like scars them for life.
Oh, it
and-
didn't scar us.
No, not at all. I think
We needed it. We're homeschool kids.
It was part of our education. That's what my dad always said.
Yeah.
McDonald's definitely made me cry, though, multiple times.
Really?
It was intense for me when I was younger. I would get emotional when I would have swearing customers saying that I was effing dumb and I messed up their order, and it's just like, this is just McDonald's. Like, you shouldn't get this mad at me, but...
Right.
I had a shop worker from Superior call me a fag once in the drive-thru.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oofda.
Yeah, I was 14.
What the world?
But-
See,
That's a bummer.
I worked at a bait shop, but I never had any like that terrible of experiences.
Yeah, I mean, you'd get people that would be like, "This is the wrong drink," and throw it back through the drive-through window at you.
You had that?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I think
So
there's
stupid.
there's an element where people have stressful lives and things are going wrong in their life,
Yeah.
and they've got all this anger built up, and it's easy to like let that out on the dumb drive-through person.
And they see McDonald's workers probably as like losers and
Yeah.
nobodies and like
And only half of them are losers. So you
right.
Right. Look at
So if
some
you're-
of us.
if
How
you're-
well
if
we're
If
doing.
you're
have the
being
poor
mean to them,
Tiernan
you might be
kids.
mean to the one with the bright future.
The poor
so
Tiernan
sad.
kids
Okay,
are
that-
there.
That's really mean. I
Yeah.
shouldn't say that.
I got
Gosh.
hit on a lot working at McDonald's.
Oh, I bet.
Yeah,
I don't have that problem.
it was funny. I mean, I had sometimes guys like I'd give them the receipt, and then they'd take it and like write their number while I'm still standing there watching them write their number down and like slide it back to me. I would pick it up sometimes and throw it in the trash, and they would see. I thought that was so funny.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's great. I think I got 9 phone numbers in one summer working at the bait shop in
Nice.
high school.
Doesn't
was
that make
my-
you feel good though?
That was like my record.
That's
we
legit.
would just have competitions just between everyone, like who can get the most phone numbers for the summer.
From girls, you would get there.
Yeah, I think
Wow, they're bold.
there was only one guy that ever gave a number, and I threw that away. I threw all the other ones away too. Actually, I never texted them.
That's probably good.
Did you ever call any of the numbers, Vic,
No.
that you got at McDonald's? See, that's the thing. Someone who tries to pick you up at a gas station or a McDonald's is not the type of person that you want to go on a date with.
Exactly.
Right.
Right.
Life lessons, right there.
I had one guy, we like asked him for their names, like on the thing, and I remember it was super busy, it was packed, and this one dude comes up and I was like, "Can I have your first name to call your order out?" Or whatever, and he's like, "Dick, my name's Dick." I was just like, "You just want me to yell Dick across this whole room to everyone?"
Yes.
And you could tell, like, he had this smirk on his face, like, "You're, I'm in 7th grade, but you're in 7th grade right now."
Oh dear.
So then I got it, and I was like, "Dick, your order's ready."
The best was when you could just memorize all of the regulars' names, and then
Yeah.
you didn't have to ask them anymore.
That was weird for me when I moved to Morris, and there were a few times like that I would go to McDonald's really early, and I realized there were actually regulars at a McDonald's.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
tons of them.
That's ridiculous. It's a McDonald's.
every day
it's
over
not
the
a
noon
diner.
hour.
It's crazy.
There's this one guy, Clarence. Do you think he still goes there every day?
I would guess so.
2 McChicken meals and a hamburger for his dog
No,
every day at like 11:20.
Right, but the
cow.
hamburger was no longer. I don't
Did
think.
the dog die?
died?
Must have.
I think the dog
Probably
died at some
from
point.
the
but also
hamburgers.
fries, no salt was
Yeah.
a new thing because they wanted fresh fries.
Yep.
And then didn't one of them not have mail? I thought.
Yeah, there was something special. I couldn't
Like
remember
there's
about
no
that.
mail, and then extra mail packets on the side, always like 2. Yeah, you didn't even. They didn't even have to say the order.
They
They'd
just
walk
walked in
in, pay the same amount, give you the exact change, and they'd sit down. You'd bring out their food to them.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's this one guy. He still works at Superior. His name's Elliot, and he would sometimes come to the drive-thru and sometimes come inside, and he'd always get 3 McChickens and a large coffee. And one
Coffee
time,
and McChickens?
yeah, large black coffee and 3 McChickens. Which is only like it's under 1,000 calories for a meal. But
I'm just thinking coffee and McChickens
That
don't
doesn't
mix.
sound good.
No.
But anyways, so he came inside this one day, and like I said, he came drive-thru sometimes, inside other times. And I put 3 McChickens and the coffee on the tray, and I put the coffee on like the front of the tray, so away from me towards him. And when I moved the tray towards him, the coffee like shot out and went at him because I moved it too abruptly, and like the cap came off, and it looked like I just like tried to douse him with coffee. And I was like really like it's super hot and dangerous and stuff,
Yeah.
and so I apologized and got him new coffee and stuff or whatever. He kept coming to McDonald's, but I never saw him inside the store ever again.
You scarred him.
I know. I kept serving him only through the drive-thru, never again
Interesting.
inside.
That's
So
funny.
I
I feel
felt
like
a
the
little-
drive-thru's more dangerous if he's scared you're going to try and burn him.
yeah,
like,
I guess I
Drop
don't know.
his coffee in a...
But I never burned him in the drive-thru, so maybe.
So the best thing about McDonald's was when I started dating Haley, and I would come through the drive-thru, and Vic would be like, "Do you want a McChicken and a Powerade, or a McChicken meal and a blue Powerade?" Like, yep, because
Yeah.
that's all Haley ever gets at McDonald's.
That's awesome.
Do you still eat McDonald's a lot, Dave?
Not a whole lot.
Okay, because I feel like I saw you there a lot when I worked there.
Yeah, yeah. When you were working there, like we were eating McDonald's all the time.
Mm-hmm. And you
But
and
then we
Gabe
got
together,
married.
I
Oh yeah,
saw
Gabe and I would go there over lunch.
a lot. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you get married, and then you're like, I'm gonna get fat, so you have to try and eat
Well,
healthier.
let's talk about that. McDonald's will make you fat.
It will.
My freshman year going to Alec Tech, I would say that like 3 times a week at least out of 5, I would go to McDonald's and get like a sausage, egg, and cheese McMuffin for breakfast. Because I had always had 8 a.m. classes, and it was quick, and I was hungry and stuff. And I definitely gained weight that year. And I thought, this like skinny girl that was still in high school, I wasn't going to gain any weight. And I definitely saw the weight get added on.
Yeah, McDucks will do that.
Yeah, don't eat McDonald's.
Except
Only
you can
occasionally.
eat it in moderation. McDonald's is great, but it's super nasty and unhealthy.
I love McDonald's. Like,
Yeah.
the food
It
is
tastes
good.
good.
Like when they were doing the McPick 3, that was when Gabe and I were going there all the time.
Such a good deal.
So we
It's
would
hard
just
to
like get
pass up.
2 McDoubles and eat them.
Those are
Eat
good.
them.
Sometimes I crave McDonald's.
Really? I don't know if I crave it.
What
But-
do you crave, Dan? Like, is there anything that you're like, I could eat this every day?
Ooh.
Whiskey?
That's what I was going to say. Alcohol.
I really like. I'm a salt and like meat kind of
Mhm.
person. Like I like just like brats and lunch meat. So I eat it a lot.
Yeah, you have strange eating habits.
I do.
I like meat and cheese sandwiches.
Oh,
I
so
make
good.
those like every day. I ate 2 today
Yeah.
for lunch and supper.
I think because it's meat, I know there's protein, I know there's fat. I feel less guilty like satisfying my urge for salt than
Yeah.
diving into a bag of chips.
Right.
So it's like
Yeah.
I'll grab like some ham. Probably shouldn't put it, but like get some mayo on it, and you're just like, I got the salt. But I feel like it's actually food. Like I didn't
Yeah, it
just eat
probably is.
half a bag of Cheetos.
Yeah, that's the thing is if you're eating ham like you're going to get full,
Yeah.
you could eat a whole bag of chips and be like,
Not that
I'm
full,
still hungry.
and just feel sad. Yeah.
It just
Yeah.
feels
You
sad.
can just feel the grease oozing out of your skin by that point.
I'm far more like a sweets person, which is really unhealthy. Like I could probably have the Royal Reese's Blizzard at McDonald's every day.
McFlurry?
Or at Dairy Queen.
Okay.
Blizzard.
Blizzards at Dairy Queen.
Ooh.
Nah, I'm not a McDonald's ice cream person.
Yeah.
That's the thing about McDonald's is people come to the drive-thru asking for Blizzards and Whoppers and all sorts of things.
Onion rings. Oh, I wish we had onion rings.
This one guy asked for a Whopper, and I was like, oh, we don't have a Whopper. He's like, really? You don't have Whoppers? And I was like,
really?
No. Like, no, we don't have Whoppers.
Oh, man.
Oh, dear.
Gosh. People are stupid.
It's
That's like
okay.
one thing you learn when you're in the customer service industry. You're like, people are really dumb.
I think I don't know if it's people are dumb. I think people don't like paying attention.
That could be accurate.
Like, I think there's like a
Yeah.
there's like
I guess
a
it depends how you define stupid.
right. There's definitely a lot of people who aren't as smart as other people.
Oh, dear.
But I just feel like there's people that like they never study the menu. Like they don't even try.
They just want.
Right.
They
what
just show up and they
want.
start saying words.
Right.
And you're like, okay, I'll try to figure this out.
Right.
Yeah.
So, any of the people, like, were there people who were actually serious about asking for Whoppers? Or were they like me in high school and you would just go ask for something you knew? Like, I want a Whopper at McDonald's because you know they don't have one.
Is there even a sandwich like a Whopper?
It used to be called the Big and Tasty.
Yeah.
So I would
you
always
might
offer
have to
that.
Create like one for
Yeah,
them.
you could basically make a Whopper back.
Does a Whopper have tomato on it?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
So you put tomato and
Mayo.
you just can't get the flame broiled burger that Burger
Sure.
King has.
I don't like.
I think it
Burger
was
King.
a lot of times people just like forgetting, especially with the Blizzard thing would happen a lot, and you'd be like, "Oh, I can get you a McFlurry."
Good
You'd be like,
sales-
"Oh yeah, sorry,
Good
my bad."
salesman right there.
They're not as good as Blizzards.
No, that was
No,
the other
not
thing. It's
at
like, I'm
all.
really sorry we don't have Blizzards because
You're
Blizzards
like-
are definitely
You're
better.
like, you can go right down the street if you really want to.
They'll put way more candy in it, so
Yeah.
might
It'll
be
be
worth
way
your
better.
time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
We've digressed to talking about McDonald's this whole podcast.
Dude, McDonald's and coffee. Do you have any more stories, Vic?
Ooh, about what?
McDonald's?
Or
One time-
anything. I mean, if you have
I
a story
got
you
a
want to
dude
share.
banned one time
What?
because he.
A customer
it's
or
a
an
long
employee?
story. No, a customer. Well, he basically was very disrespectful, and after.
What's that code for?
Oh, it's a long story. Do you
Okay,
want me to
that's
say it? And
Yeah. We're on a
Okay.
podcast. We're talking.
Okay, so he comes up to order. He mumbles quite a bit, and I didn't like get his order right, and all I heard was like a senior coffee. He's an old guy, okay, and he wanted a Cinnamelt too, and I like didn't catch that, okay. So he only paid for like a senior coffee, and so I bring it out to him because that's what old people like expect at McDonald's, like
That you bring him their coffee.
respect. Yeah, I guess. So I brought him his coffee, and he comes back up, and he's like, "Where's my Cinnamelt or whatever?" And it's just like, I was like, "What did you say?" And he just like keeps mumbling, and he like yells, and he's like, "I didn't give him my Cinnamelt."
He yells that quietly.
Yeah. Well, I guess no, not quietly, but
So
I was
you
like,
being mean or him?
no. He didn't even pay for it, and then I was like, "Well, do you want to pay for it? Like, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that on the order. Those are like $2."
Yeah.
And he's like, "No, I'm not gonna pay for it." And then he's like, "Whatever. Can you get me a glass of water?" And I was like, "Sure." And at McDonald's, we have pre-made glass of waters.
Yeah.
And I give him one, and he's like, "No, that's too much." And I was like, "What the heck? This is a small." And then so I get him this tiny, tiny little, like the mini McFlurry cup full of water with no lid on it. And I was like, "Is this good?" And he takes it and splashes it in my face.
What?
Oh.
No, I'm not even kidding. Yeah, I had water, and I'm pretty sure he didn't want the small because it was too much water to splash in my face.
Yeah.
So I literally looked at him, and I was like, turned around, and I went and told the manager, and he's not allowed to eat at McDonald's anymore because of that.
In Morris.
Yep. So
no
that was
McDonald's ever anywhere. They have his
Yeah.
picture back.
If this man comes in, he
Siren-
splashed a small
sirens go
McFlurry
off.
glass full of water into a 16-year-old girl's face.
Yeah, how old were you?
oh, probably 15 or 16 at the time.
Man,
Yeah.
people are so rude.
Yeah. Just like no decency at all. I don't know.
One time I was making a cone, and this is not as cool of a story, but I was making a cone, and I finished up making it, and I went to give it back to the customer, and then I started going over to the place to get burgers and give it to them, and they were just like, and I didn't turn the lever for the ice cream back down after I made the cone. I just flipped it up, made the cone, set it down, went to go get burgers, and it was just ice cream pouring out of the ice cream machine. And they're like, I was like, oh no.
That's funny.
Did you eat the ice cream, Dan? I could see
No.
you eating the ice cream.
No, I actually held back a lot from eating things at McDonald's. I tried to follow the rules. Otherwise, I would have been stuffing my face back there all day.
I did that a lot. Like dead chicken nuggets. I'd eat those all the time.
Oh.
Even steal some dipping sauce from the front and go munch on those. If they were dead, we weren't going to sell them, and I wasn't about to waste them. It felt
gross.
bad, so I got probably a little chubby over those years.
Chicken nuggets that aren't fresh are so disgusting.
True. Yeah.
And you
Anything
just
at
ate
McDonald's that's not fresh is kind of gross. Just dry tasting and soggy.
Sometimes when we would close, we would just raid the food.
Oh, yeah.
Like whatever food is left over once you close the doors.
Well, that
Just like
makes
go,
sense. Otherwise, you're going to throw it away.
Yeah.
Right.
Eat chicken and... I mean, you're
Or,
throwing
like,
stuff
make
away all day,
something
but
with
you're
it.
throwing it like in a trash can on the ground. So it's not really
Right.
very
Right.
appetizing. One time somebody gave me $1 to drink like a cup of grease.
Just
A dollar?
Yeah.
Why
Dan,
did you do that?
It wasn't a full cup.
did you
But
throw
it was
up?
it was from the grill, like those, like you put the grease all in the corner, and then when you're cleaning the thing,
Oh, my
the big stainless
gosh.
steel thing that you pull out from the grill, they
Oh,
poured it in a
yeah.
cup.
Okay, Dan.
And
let's,
you drank that.
Yeah.
let's talk about our favorite positions at McDonald's. Where did you like to work the best?
I liked running for drive-through.
Okay.
So, for the uninitiated,
Did you just like it because you got to kind of like sit around and clean tables a little bit until they had...
no.
It was
So that position, you're basically like you're the one bringing the food from the hamburger line to the window.
Right. So you're baking the
okay.
food
Yeah, you're baking the food
and handing it out through
and you're kind of
drive-thru.
calling out. You're communicating like what needs to.
Sure.
Drop
like-
more
Like,
fries.
I need more fries.
Yeah.
I need more selects. I need more nuggets.
Yeah.
So you're kind of like a communication hub, but then you don't have to take every once in a while. You maybe hop on and take an order if the other person needs it, but you don't have to take all the orders,
Right.
which gets super repetitive and boring.
And
That's
you
a-
can easily get so impatient in drive-thru because people, oh, just give me a couple minutes, and you've got this huge line building up, and it's just so much
If you need
talking.
a couple minutes, come inside.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The dumbest thing about McDonald's is the pre-recorded message, though, at drive-thru that says, la-da-da-da-da, order when you're ready. And then you start talking, and then the person, like, 2 minutes later, because they're never ready for you at the drive-thru, it's like, oh, hey, yeah, sorry, what can I get for you? You're like,
I
Do you
was
know-
better than
do you know what-
that.
yeah, you
Yeah.
were always on, you were on top of it, but
If I was sitting there, I would skip the message. There was an option on like your headset
yeah?
to
Oh,
skip
yeah.
it, so
Yeah.
that they wouldn't have to hear that and just be like, "Hey, welcome to McDonald's. What can I get you?"
If you were ready.
But
Like if
now
I had
that-
nothing to do, I
Right.
would just skip it.
But it just makes no sense because it's like whenever you're ready, and then the person in the drive-thru isn't always ready, and so then you start talking, and then they're like, "Hey, sorry, what can I get for you?"
Right.
Yeah, it's inefficient. You know what I think is so what they've gone to now is they'll repeat your order back to you
Yeah,
when you first order it. Then they repeat it at the
Yeah.
first window.
It's awful.
I never repeated anything to anybody. You know why? Because I was
you
faster
got it
than them.
right. Yeah,
It's like, are you the one with the 2 McDoubles and the iced coffee with no cream and yes, I am. Isn't this line work? You just took my order. Now you're
Right.
asking me again if I'm that person.
That's so annoying. Yeah.
And I'm kind of mean. I give them so much. I just like I sit there with my card now and wait for them to mumble through it.
right.
And I feel bad for them because they shouldn't have to repeat it.
Yeah.
It's
Right.
like nothing's gotten messed up. That was 5 feet ago.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Like, and I get it. They probably, especially like maybe nationwide, they were getting like thousands of orders wrong every day, and they were
Right.
maybe just like,
Sure.
we've got to get them right, so we're
Right.
going to triple check.
So
Right.
that-
But it slows the process down.
Oh,
Right.
yeah.
I feel more confident when someone doesn't check with me.
Yeah, it's like
Because
you
then I
got it
feel like,
right.
Okay, you were listening.
Plus, it shows up on the board.
I know. It's like I can
Like,
read.
it. Be like,
Yeah, I mean,
you
some people
missed
can't
that.
read.
No kidding.
see, like Dairy Queen, they do get your orders wrong. And then you don't know until they're handing it out to you. So I understand the whole, like, but that's the whole reason for the screen, where you can read off of it what they put down for your order,
Yeah.
and then you're like, oh yeah, they got it right.
The worst is when you go to a coffee shop and they mess up your order and it tastes terrible.
Have you had a recent experience of this, or?
Oh, yeah. I mean, it doesn't happen that much, but I mean, I think one time I got like completely cream and no coffee. And
Was that just because someone did it poorly, not because they got your order wrong?
I think they did it poorly, yeah. And they might have been new or something. I ordered a breve, and that's not something I feel like people commonly order. It's like mainly espresso and like some half and half, and they put mainly half and half, and if anything, no coffee at all.
That's
and
the
so
worst.
it was terrible. It was drinking straight cream.
But you're too nice to
Yeah.
go back and say, throw it in their face.
So I have a problem at Don's, which since dating Kaylee, I've gone to a lot. But they have a cheeseburger, and then they have a double cheeseburger. But on the menu, it's not called the double cheeseburger. It's called
like
a
the
big
big-
cheeseburger.
Yeah, big cheeseburger.
Which I don't know why they do that. So at first I would say double cheeseburger, and then I finally corrected, and now I say big cheeseburger. But people, I need to start double checking when I say it, because more than once it happened today.
You've gotten a normal.
A bacon cheeseburger, because big
Oh,
cheeseburger and
okay.
bacon cheeseburger sound similar. Or sometimes I just get a cheeseburger. So
Yeah.
I might just start saying double cheeseburger again, because then I want 2 patties.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
I could see that, but I don't order that basic of a thing off the menu. So.
kind of basic.
The Golden Gate.
Oh yeah.
People
that's
at
the
Don's
crazy
are going to
one.
hate me for saying it, but
Everyone order the
everyone order the Golden
What is
Gate.
it?
It is a double cheeseburger on toast with bacon and
Special
Thousand
sauce.
Island dressing. And yeah, that's it, because I asked for no
Yeah.
tomatoes.
Ooh,
And it's-
tomatoes are good.
No,
Yeah.
tomatoes are
But with
bad.
Thousand Island, 2 patties on Don's toast with bacon. And
That sounds
Tomato,
so good.
like-
Yeah, it is fantastic.
go
And
to
pickles.
Don's.
It's not on
the
the
pickles
menu.
are important.
Oh,
But
it's
if you
on the
ask for it-
special menu, right?
Right.
the invisible one.
Golden Gate.
So
okay.
they had it as a special
Everybody
once.
write it down.
It was a special once, and Gabe and I went. We're like, what's that? Oh, that looks good. So we ordered it, and we've just ordered ever since. And
And they still make
Once-
it even though it's
Oh
not
yeah,
on
they'll
the
make
Except
it
for-
if you ask.
yeah, except for some of the cooks really don't like to make it. And so they won't actually like fry the onions for you, because it's
Oh.
supposed to have fried onions.
Yeah.
See, I usually get my cheeseburgers and I add grilled onions.
Right. And they don't do that like that was what it was on the menu. They don't do it anymore because they don't like to have to do it.
Yeah.
So
You could just specify like fried onions.
so now you have to, yeah, if you actually want it that way.
Interesting.
Is there anything else not on the menu at Don's?
I don't know. We could ask Kaylee.
Is there anything nowhere else in town that I have something that's like that's kind of a diner thing, like to have a
A
special
secret menu, yeah.
Hmm.
Well, Vic, did you think we were going to talk about coffee and fast food the whole time?
No, but that's okay. It's fun.
What did you think we were going to talk about?
I don't know. I think I thought I was going to get I can't even say-
Interrogated?
Yeah, about stuff I didn't want to talk about.
Why do people think... Maybe it's because we're siblings and I know things about you.
Yep.
And so you were scared that I was going to ask you about them.
That's the
Right.
post podcast deal.
Oh, okay.
Once we turn the mics off.
Oh,
No, we
dear.
want to have like fun conversations that are interesting to
Yeah.
other people. I guess probably your life and things would be interesting to other people, but
That's good.
we don't want you to be uncomfortable
No.
We do this mostly for ourselves, not the audience.
Yeah, basically.
Sorry, audience.
Our
All
37
of you.
Yeah.
Is that it?
It's like 26 unique downloads for every episode.
Yeah.
I mean, that's 26 people.
dude, shout out to them. Thanks for listening, guys.
Do you think more people would listen if they weren't as long?
I don't really care. Because you can't have a good conversation in less than an hour. Like, you're going to cut things off.
True. I mean, I didn't even say everything I wanted to say. So.
Oh, what else do you want to say,
Yeah,
Vic?
we got time.
Well, we didn't even finish what our favorite energy drinks were.
Oh.
You didn't even finish, and I didn't get to say.
All right.
I'm going to go with, which is for like all time. I don't drink this very often anymore. I'm going to go with like the original Rockstar.
Oh, sure.
Oh, wow.
Why is that?
I really like it. I like the
tangy.
I like the
Tastes good.
taste. I like the I just don't drink it all the time because of all the sugar, and I just don't want to drink all the sugar.
That makes sense.
But
What's your drink, Vic?
Coffee. Just kidding.
Energy drink.
Probably NOS. I mean, that's my go-to. But also this year, I would say I drink more Red Bull now than
Red
I
Bull
did
is good.
before.
Red Bull's
the
really
taste
good.
is good.
I think if Red Bull wasn't so expensive, it would be higher in my
Exactly.
list because I really do like it. I was
You have to
disqualified.
buy two at a time because they have the
The
two
deals.
for-
I know.
it's like $2 for $5 or whatever the deal is. That makes it
for
more
the
like
little
a normal-
ones, but you could get 3 for $5 Rockstars, the big ones.
Yeah,
It's always a better deal to not get Red Bull.
I know.
Unless you buy it at Meadowland.
Do they sell it there for
Oh, yeah.
cheaper?
Oh yeah.
We got a petition for cheaper Red Bull in America.
Right.
Let's do it.
They've done a good job with their brand, though, that they can charge a premium. They're like one of the best-selling, if not the best-selling, energy drink.
Right.
Let's invent a new energy drink, you guys.
Wow,
Make
so many
millions.
people have tried.
Ugh,
Too much work.
be so cool though.
That would be a lot of work.
Try and figure out. Yeah. I'd
That's
prefer to like start up a brewery. Like if
Yeah,
we're-
I think it would be easier to
we're
make beer
honest-
than energy drinks.
Yeah. Because energy drinks, it's like you're putting all sorts of things that people shouldn't be ingesting into it.
You can make beer at home. There's no like brew your own energy drink at home kit that you can buy for $300 off
there
Amazon.
might be.
Right.
Brew your own.
Oh, it'd be so hard to
coffee.
get the.
Yeah, there you go. The Starbucks double shot espresso is
Yeah.
actually really good, but it's so tiny.
Oh yeah.
Have you ever had that?
I don't think so.
It's fantastic.
Sometimes I order
but
just
it's
shots
like,
of espresso.
no, so just the one you can buy in the gas stations.
Oh
Like
yeah,
in
I've
the little
had that.
can.
Oh, the one in gas stations.
Yeah.
Yep, I've had that.
It's so good,
It
but
is
that's like more expensive than Red Bull.
good. Yeah,
It's
that's like.
$3 for
Mhm.
like 6 ounces,
I know.
5 ounces.
Okay, what's the best coffee shop? Like the big brand ones, Caribou, Starbucks, or Dunn Brothers.
So
Starbucks.
Caribou for actual coffee, like black
Black
coffee,
okay.
and then Dunn Brothers for like
Special drinks.
special drinks, floofy, girly drinks.
I think it's the other way around for me. When I go to Dunn Brothers, which is my favorite at the moment, I go through different seasons.
Yeah, shout out to Tiffany Butler for
Yeah.
working at Dunn Brothers.
Does she still work there?
Yeah, I
Okay.
just saw her the other day.
I never see her there when I go there, so.
She used to work at
We've
Caribou.
gone there randomly twice, and she's been there. So
At Dunn Brothers, I get a medium iced Americano, so it's just like espresso, and then I add a little bit of cream to it, and that's so good. So that's where I like getting my strong coffee. And then if I get sweet coffee, I go to Caribou because I feel like their coffee is just so sweet, and it's barely coffee. And then I like Starbucks. So I think my order goes Dunn Brothers, Starbucks actually, and then Caribou.
all right, get off the podcast.
At Caribou, I like a cold brew with half and half.
Their crafted press. Have you ever had their crafted press?
Oh, yeah.
That
is so good.
fantastic.
And then add vanilla to it. That's
And
so
they're
good.
straight black coffee. If you just want black coffee, I don't think you can argue. Like
Yeah.
not an espresso, but just black coffee. Caribou has the best.
Right. I think buying Caribou beans and Starbucks beans are so good, and then taking them home and just like making
Starbucks
coffee.
is Charbucks. It's so
Why?
their beans are so charred and burnt and bitter.
Oh, I think they're good.
So
It smells good.
I used to I used to be more of a Caribou when it came to just like the black coffee.
Yeah.
I used to be more Caribou. But then when I moved to California, I went to Starbucks a bunch, and I kind of switched over to the Starbucks black coffee. Give me that charred, nasty, bitter Starbucks black.
That's good.
Okay, so on another coffee note, have you had the blonde espresso at Starbucks?
I have. I got that the other day. It was really good.
That is fantastic.
Yeah. Very good.
Yeah.
I am not the type of person to try new coffee, though. I always get whatever is going to be the strongest and taste the most like coffee. So, like, when there's new drinks that come out, I don't rarely ever change them or, like, try them.
See, I have the opposite. I'm far too much of a try new things person. And
Yeah, you bought pumpkin spice rum. Like,
I love pumpkin spice, though.
Yeah. I think
got
it's too
pumpkin
sweet.
spice latte at Caribou this last weekend. You get half the syrup
They still sell that even though it's
They
not
still
the
had the
season?
syrup, yeah.
Oh, wow.
in Wilmer.
Oh, okay.
So
So hit up Wilmer.
hit up
Caribou.
Wilmer for no, don't do it because I want it to still be there for a couple of months.
You go to Wilmer often?
Yeah, it's halfway between us and my parents,
Oh, sure.
and my brother's fiance lives there now, so like they're right there. JT lives there, even though I never go see him ever
Oh.
because we're not really friends.
yeah, preview. Big John Tiernan is going to be on the podcast.
Heck
We're
yeah.
recording it on Saturday, and then it'll be out next Wednesday. So 10th, 11th, 14th. Valentine's Day, JT, you'll be on the podcast.
Heck yeah.
Nice.
Big lover boy JT for Valentine's Day.
yeah.
Haven't seen that guy in a while. He's like a teacher now or something.
Yeah. What,
Or
third graders, I
something.
think?
5th grade, I think.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he teaches
Wow.
5th graders.
Way
I
to
don't
go,
know.
Dan.
One of those.
His wife teaches 8th,
Eighth grade
grade
math.
algebra.
And they live really close to
How could
Foxhole
you
Brewing, which is a fantastic
I
brewery.
still need to go there.
Okay, so sorry to Copper Trail Brewing out in Alexandria, which was really nice and recorded a podcast to us, but Foxtail kill Copper Trail on taste.
Really?
Oh, wow.
So good. I'm so surprised. You go to a brewery in Wilmer. It's like we're not in the cities, we're not in some.
Yeah.
That does not sound like
Wilmer's like a kind of a
they have
hole.
amazing beer. Like I've gotten a growler a couple times. It's really good.
All right, I'm going
At
there
least
this
on
weekend.
the IPAs, but
Nice.
yeah.
Well, I have to pee.
Well, thanks Vic for stopping by and
Yeah, no
talking
problem.
with us.
It was a lot of fun.
Our show's more interesting when we have guests, so thanks
That
for
was
the late
actually
notice.
not what people said. They said they preferred when we don't.
So it just
Which
you
is
and I
weird.
talking.
Yeah,
We like when there's guests.
we do. Yeah.
Probably because there's less
'Cause we actually
voices
hate
to
each
listen
other.
to. Honestly, it can be distracting. I notice that when I listen to
Yeah.
guest podcasts.
Yeah, I think once you get to 4, it's not good. I think 3 is doable if you listen to each other.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not cutting each other off.
I wonder if it'd be helpful if we had headphones, if we would cut each other off less.
No, I think if you're all in the same room, it's pretty easy to like watch body signals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's really hard if you're remote. Like, it'll be interesting when we try to start recording remotely.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Dan?
should I make that announcement?
Yeah.
I'm moving to Ecuador February 24th with my wife Kaylee, who got a job teaching English at a private Christian school. So I will no longer live in Morris. I put my 2 weeks in at my job at Superior. My last day is February 15th. And I don't know Spanish yet, but hopefully
No,
in a few
hablo
months.
el español.
Hablo español. See.
I'm so excited to come visit you guys.
Are you going to come visit us?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
She has all the cash in the bank.
That's true.
I gotta
So
take
yeah, I've
some
got a lot of
vacations.
adventures ahead, but we're going to continue the podcast.
Yes.
Talked about it. We're like on podcast 23 right now. We want to at least get to podcast 100. Is our goal. Do
Should we
100
have-
shows.
Should we have like Bono on for episode 100?
I think we shall.
Who's that?
You too? Oh my gosh, Vic.
The
Bono?
All right, you're
the,
done.
the lead singer for U2. Do you know who U2 is? Google U2 and
Oh
you get
my
home, Vic.
gosh. Sorry,
You've probably heard some of their songs.
Sorry, Mark Haugen, for this.
We've got the full spectrum. We had Mark Haugen on a few weeks ago. Who's like the biggest U2 nut there is.
Yeah.
To Victoria Tiernan.
Who has
Who's
no
never
idea.
heard of him.
Oh dear.
Wow.
Um,
All right.
thanks,
That's a
Vic,
good
for
note to end on.
showing up. This has been the
Thanks,
Cowboys and Unicorns podcast. I'm Dan.
I'm David.
And I'm Victoria.
Have a good night.
Bye-bye.